As this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening, but all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Now Carr. He completes it right side to White. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A handoff, Coleman between the tackles. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He gets this to Davante Adams. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. Down to the 10. Touchdown. Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. We're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media, we'll start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, they just watched the other team take the ball downfield and score, so they knew that this drive, this opening drive, was on them. And, boy, that was important to pick up that first down there and keep this one going.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Mayfield on first down. This one into the hands of Thielen. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen. 41 yards. And the Vikings are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Here's Trenton Cannon on the return from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They will run again with Coleman. And he's got Rome. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. 76 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. It's Coleman here, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year, and the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Throwing now is Carr. Johnson. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Left side, Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Mayfield off the play fake. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. 3rd down here.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he...
Touchdown, Vikings! Donald Parham. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now Carr. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partners,
fights through, and now a crease. And all the way down to the 26. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Throwing, Mayfield. That is caught by Thielen. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A good pickup there of 20 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
First down, Mayfield. Lets it fly for Thielen. He's got it at the 15. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Cannon now elects to bring this out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Coleman will try up the middle. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr drops it off for Coleman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Andrew. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown, but incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
He finds his target, Beckham. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And again, it's Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Carr. On the screen, this is Coleman. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Mayfield on first down. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Nwangu now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
This one into the hands of Thielen. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Chandler Jones buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a play fake. Carr. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You've got to cash in and get some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 123 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Got the defense on their heels. 2 first downs in a row and now a pickup of 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go up the middle with White, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards, and they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. A 10th carry in the game for Cook, and he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They go play action. Mayfield. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. He'll leave this one for White. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now Carr, got to have this one. And that is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a two-score game, could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And he's got this to Jefferson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain there of 21 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
Cook will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Cannon now elects to bring this out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Carr now on 1st down. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. On 1st down, Carr. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Play action. Now it's Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. He juked him. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Carr. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. Touchdown Raiders! Darren Waller, 26 yards. And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Cook up the gut. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He completes it to Beckham. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing, Mayfield. And the Raiders have got him. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a fourth quarter pick six here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick six, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. They'll roll him out right. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Carr going to go on 4th down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. A pass complete downfield to Renfro. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game, but give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to